Ah! Ah! Wah! Most yaoi part of any space travel reel. Hi, I think we're live. I think we're live. I'm fairly certain. I'm gonna set a goal. Actually, I don't know what. I'll wait a little because I don't really want the goal to be. Yeah, thank you, Meowmer. Hey, Centura Wilson. My black and white children. I guess I don't know if Centura is my children. Meow, how's my favorite cat? Okay, that's actually okay. That made me unreasonably happy for no real reason. I don't know why that made me that happy, but it's the cat sound. No, grr. I'm doing pretty good. You can't just decide someone is your child. Hi, SCR. Well, that is true. It was literally just like the Center is Wilson bit, but oh wait, fuck. I need to click a few things here real quickly. And by a few things here, I mean into this. Wow. Okay, so bonk should work now. This is a little loud, by the way. It kind of is, yeah. God, I fucking love Soul Space. Am I your child? So probably not. Well, I don't know. Fuck. I hope. For your sake, I hope not. You are a child of unfortunate circumstances, so. Is Wilson Silter or is Center Wilson? I have no idea, to be honest. Yeah, let me put some food in the fish chamber. Fuck, what the fuck am I doing? Dude, I quite early today, aren't you? Oh, yeah, in my defense, Your Honor, Your Honor, silly girl, I got distracted by things. My cat griefed me. My cat probably woke me up like 5 times last night. I don't really have a defense. It's like good, to be honest. I mostly just have the fact of like I don't know how bad to feel over it because like, and for taxation, I still like a lunch back to Ninja. Oh, happy. What do you? Can I talk to you some other kind of? I would wife to make in a family tree. What? Say what family tree? What Nemesis? Meow. Oh, just what you do. Are used to being neglected. Fuck you. I'm not neglect Max. Airman's in the name of a can call you important. Real bow. Surely. Rah. Well, this is the wrong thing. The bomber. Why is Cinder just deciding to take it? Hi T, hi Echo. I should probably figure out what the fuck happened this day. July 8th. I think July 9th shit just got a little silly. What happened July 9th for this many impressions? Questions quickly say by audience watch behavior. Yeah. Okay, but what is? I don't know what you. July 11th and July 16th. Apparently, my click-through rate was quite high. I don't really know what I'm doing right now. I don't know what I'm looking at really. Oh, we can look at the viewer gen. By the way, it's real. It's real. The legendary 4% of my audience that is female it barely exists. I don't know how much of this is just me, but it does exist. But they do exist. That's just YouTube. It isn't just YouTube. It isn't just YouTube. No, in all of in my content, it is pretty like 2 people. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm a significant portion of no contributing to the Yuri. You need to stamp out the 4% for no Yuri. Okay. How do I? There was something. Why am I just locked in channel analytics? Okay, huge. Okay. Let's go to content. Let's go to impressions. Wow, crazy. What the fuck did I do? Brain damage cat girl plays no idea. Oh, is it just because I streamed twice that? No, there has to be something. What happened on June 9th? For me to get, okay, why did I get so many impressions here? What happened here? Brain damage cat girl has I know. I'll bet you they control 2% on here. I don't know. Oh, you're talking about fucking numbers. Okay, what percentage of women does a year become legal just to appease the audience? None. Even if I had a fully, like, female audience, no Yuri would not be allowed. Okay, but this isn't this is while live. Or this is, like, post-live. What about while live? Am I an idiot? Okay, what about while live? Yeah. Oh yeah, but if we go to like June 9th and 8th and like the 16th, we can... What am I doing this for? I don't remember anymore. Schematics Cat Girl apparently did good on click-through rate, giving Cat Girl plushie. Oh, this makes sense as to why I got so many, because I made that little short video. That was cute. I think more women means more yellow and doesn't it? Yes, Buttered Post. Yes, Yuri is true, Rain. Why can't Yuri and Yali coexist peacefully? No. Here's what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, oh, I can't coexist peacefully. And then if you ever get an edge of power, you're gonna remain plotting the whole time to use it to bring the downfall to Yali. So don't even lie to me. You're July. I don't want to be in July. Fuck July, man. Yeah, because I don't, what does that mean? Make thumbnails more gay men, real matter, anti-matter. Does more not imply more yacht? What? How would you get more female viewers anyways? If you had to try for whatever reason, how would you? Probably collabing with like a male VTuber. To be honest. Realistically, that's what it would be. What content are women into these days? Buttered toast. You can't, this is not like a thing where you can just be like, what comment are women into? You realize women are people too, right? Like, actually no, fuck you. You're not gonna get me to defend women on my fucking wholesome Chungus Yaoi stream. Okay. Streamers streams data like just to mock around her audience more at 9. I'm sorry, I take it back. I'm sorry. My bad. Women are people. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. They're people. They're not. I'm sorry. My bad. Oh, my cat. Hi, baby. My cat has decided to join me on my lap, so that's cute. Honey, I have to get dressed and start setting up things for VR. I don't really know what's... It seems like people like when you're brain damaged. People do enjoy when I'm brain damaged. People are large, me being brain damaged, enjoy it, or drug addicted. Yeah, these did quite well. What am I doing? Fucking... Oh, I guess I'm kind of imprisoned here for a moment. I'm not sure what the itinerary for the day was. I want to forward... getting my, I want to forward the, like, VR chat pipeline, right? I know that this is true. And he has to fuck around with this... I kind of want a screenshot of just you're getting dressed to fuck, or... Hang on, I need to get that, actually. Garcia... This is pretty good. Libel. This is not libel. You did say this. You did say this. We do. You did say this, TM. Oh, we can watch a short together, TM. That could be cute. I watched this last night, but I was too tired to even remember the things of it, so we're watching this now. Wow. Crazy. React content to my own fucking content. Insane. Sean from V Rising. Not many of What is she? Wait, is she reacting? Okay, never mind. We're not gonna do React channel content. Because then that's... People get undressed to fuck. No, I get dressed to fuck. Rah. Yeah. No. I stopped. It's not an egomania. like you are. Good morning, baby. Aw. I should not open YouTube though, because this will get into like the react content type shit. Asmon Gold Pipeline. No. I thought something that could be the new thing. Reacting to your is not the same thing, Lamau. It feels worse somehow, Bo. I don't mind watching your reactions for the record. Aw, thank you, Buttered Toast. That's actually pretty sweet. It's actually very sweet. When you're watching constantly, you're reacting constantly. I guess that's true. That is kind of like the react content, but it's just the entire Blue Star Soul Space album. Hi, Kitty. Oh, you're still YouTuber pilled. Thank you. Crazy scallops. How to tell if you're experiencing secondary what? No. Pee yourself. CS talk to a psychologist. Grr. Physically correct slime simulator. Oh, this looks cool as fuck. What the hell? I want to be slime. This looks cool as shit, dog. Well, I do know ranks all D&D 5e classes. Wizard top tier, cleric top tier, everything else shit tier. There's no reason to do it. Some direct to Pathfinder builds. And actually, we could do that right now. 5e classes. Tier list maker. Okay, artificer. I don't remember too much about this. Here's what it's gonna look like. We have wizard, cleric. Oh god, bitch. Fuck you. We have the wrong choices, but still good. Yes. What is actually possible to guess what you're gonna do on your next stream? Why is actually impossible? I don't know, Wilson. Okay, so since I'm nerd, meow. This isn't a Warlock B2 damn. It's just kind of worse than the other casters, and which is worse than like the god tier casters. We'll put all of the classes that have no reason to exist in the bottom tier. We'll get fighter one higher because it technically the actions are just good. Best arcane gods list. Why no F tier? I don't know. This might have been changed recently. I guess I can't fully do this because I haven't seen this in a while. But like, why no F tier? D tier is F tier. There's no reason to play any of these. Fighter is also no reason to play. Just play a caster. 5e is just not a good system. There's no reason to ever not play a caster. Casters are just superiors. Even prove you wrong. Have you considered, right? Let's go to like D and D beyond fucking mold earth. Remove earth, okay. Oh, the cantrip, yeah, this shit. Have you considered that this, as a level 1 caster, breaks pretty much everything in the game? As a cantrip? Yeah, 50D class for tier list. That'd be good, Alex, but I don't know how many people play too. Couldn't be me. Real bow. First you picking us. Look, no, but like, look how fucking broken this shit is. Alright, we have Chast time 1 action. Okay, range 30 feet. Okay. Component somatic. Okay. Duration instantaneous or 1 hour. Okay. Choose push and durst so they can see within range that fits within a 5 feet cube. You manipulate in one of the following ways. If you the target 5 feet, by the way, that is my entire fucking body. Like you know how many bees you could fit into that 5 feet cube? Like a absurd amount. Like she's more than a little piss peel. Oh yeah, if you target an area of loose earth, you can instantly excavate it. What the fuck? Move it along the ground and deposit up to 5 feet away. This movement doesn't have force to cause damage. Okay, the rest of these we don't care about. What the fuck is this, man? You can just... this doesn't say an unoccupied space. You can just say, oh, hey, you guy in full heavy armor, like God among men. like really fucking like powerful warrior, hey, guess what? Get fucked, idiot. Get in the fucking cube. Get in the dirt cube right now. And he just eats shit and dies. Like this breaks literally like most encounters prior to level 10 in the game. It's a fucking cantrip. What the fuck are you supposed to do about this? This is resourceless expenditure, kid called GM ruling. Bo, that's not a GM ruling. No. Fuck that. If your system, if the most basic of shit, if you have to have a GM fucking ruling for a cantrip that is made in a specific, like, extra source book to the thing to, like, make things more balanced, you have a bad fucking system. It's a cantrip, damn. Yeah, no, fuck this spell. This is literally the epitome of Godcaster syndrome in fucking 5e. There is no reason to ever not play a caster because every fucking thing like this in 5e is shit like this. This is just what casters in 5e are like. This is fucking insane. Like, why? It's just fucking, like, I do, but it's an awful system. 5th rank spell in Pathfinder 2e, by the way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, this is just insane. Like, caster players are like, there's literally no reason to ever not play a caster in 5e. Create water was just bonkers. It is buttered toast, and depending on how you rule create water, you can just fucking, like, choke people to death with it, which is stupid. But yeah, create water is insane. There's a lot of things like that. 5e, there's just Godcaster syndrome in 5e. There's literally no reason to ever not just play a caster. And it's deeply upsetting. Like there's like, Mold Earth is literally, I will not play 5e because this shit exists in it. Unironically. Okay, come on, guys. Since the 5e cube on packets crumbles around him and his movement is inhibited, but a separate body is free. Bo, that's just not how it works. Bo, do you want me to show you how much dirt 5 feet of dirt is? It's very difficult terrain. No. 5 by 5 by 5. Do you know how much dirt that is? You physically, it would take you hours of your life, hours to move a 5 by 5 by 5 cube of loose dirt. Probably like a day. Customers are the best class game, makes sense. Name 100 dirt, real. I thought you dig the space below him and force him to climb. No, just put the guy in the dirt. Put the guy in the dirt. Also, you shouldn't have to have a fucking GM luring for that, Bo. There should be some text around here if you put in like an occupied space, or shouldn't let you put in an occupied space. Yeah, literally, go ahead, move fucking like 740 pounds of dirt, by the way, with like your bare hands or like a sword in hand. Yeah, how do you, like, try to claw through fucking 740 pounds of dirt, by the way, with your hands, not even a shovel. But then he has the dirt eater feet, it just eats all the dirt. I don't have a dirt eater feet. This is however you have to subtract the value of the person encompassed by dirt. I guess that's true, but that's not going to be that impactful to a 5 by 5 by 5. This is the strongest catcher, but the GM missed. This is just absurd. Like, why would you ever, what the fuck is this? Sleep is also just, like, what the fuck is sleep? 5d8, by the way. Guess how much health you will have as a level 1 creature. 5 fucking d8. What the fuck is this? What genuinely and unironically, this trivializes most encounters. What the fuck? It says 90, it makes the area difficult terrain. It does so much more than that, Orion. No, bullshit, it makes the area difficult terrain. If I use that, it makes the area more than difficult terrain. It's a fucking house rule. You are house ruling it. The spell doesn't do what it says. Because you have to in order to deal with the fact of the bullshit of the text of the spell. Because the text of the spell is described as insane. Where does he get inside with dirt? Like, it is actually obscene how powerful that spell is. Sleep, right? 5d8 health. Hang on, let's do like a wizard. Let's say you're a wizard. It's like 1d6, right? 1d6 for wizard pebble is 6 plus climb modifier. So let's be generous. Let's say you have 9 health at level 1. Let's find the average of 5d8. So that would be the average on each of these dice is going to be 4.5. We multiply that by 5. That's like what? 22.5 health. You can put like almost 3 of you to sleep with this. I mean, I don't know. I guess if we're rolling this, I'd at least make the target able to save against it. Either use easy. Yeah. Bo. You should not have to make the spell for a fucking $1 million company. How much money? How much money does fucking Wizards of the Coast have? How much money does Wizards of the Coast have? $325 million, and they can't make the fucking spell. They can't make the fucking spell. Like that is the word of the like $325 million, and they can't make their own spells. You have to make the spells for them. Why play 5e? This is teach how to play game stuff for years. This is a fucking dog shit game. 5e is such a dog shit path. I won't argue about this cat.
Lost Player says, I never managed to learn it. Actually my friend tried to teach me, but guess I'm not a D&D person cause lots of to learn. I'm impressed actually. Also calm down meow
like, it's just
and don't forget to breath.
Like let's go to, also you have to pay for the rules mostly or find them through like weird bullshit. If only you could read the worker, what's the cost value. It's like they fire out people who actually make games. Yeah, but it's like been this for so many years. But like let's go to cantrips. Let's go to like cantrips on fucking, or here, let's go to Pathfinder 2e cantrips. Let's find like a similar-ish that. Okay, cool. Let's go to like, I don't know. Let's go to like Bramblebush, a cantrip. So, Pathfinder 2e, complex D&D 4e. And it's so much better, right? And it actually has rules. Alright. Okay, this is specifically a combat spell, so it's not one that like potentially has like utility. We'll look into other things. Sorry, I'm trying to look for like, alright, let's go to Prestidigitation. Simple Smash does your bidding. You can perform simple magical effects for as long as it's in spell. Each time you sip them, so you can choose one or more options. So sustaining a spell is just like an action on your turn. You have 3 actions at a turn. This costs 2 to cast. Cool. Cool, warm, or flavor 1 pound of non-living material. That's pretty fucking cool. For like a thing, it's very flavorful. Lift, slowly lift an unintended object of a light bolt or less 1 foot off the ground. Pretty cool, very useful. There's a lot of things you can do with that. Create a temporary object out of negligible bulk, made of congealed magical substance. Object looks crude and artificial and extremely fragile. It can't be used as a tool, focus, or cost a spell. You could just make fucking shit that doesn't exist. Like, it's insane. Just look at their scam test, so that's fair. Looks so bad. Wilson, the spell site is so much better than literally any other spell, like, website I've ever seen for TTRPG ever. Archives of Nethys is fucking insane, and all the rules for Pathfinder 2e are free. The only thing you ever have to pay for in Pathfinder 2e is, like, the pre-made adventure pass, but all of the rules are free. So, hang on, how much is Paizo worth? How much Paizo? So a company earned with fucking like I have no idea. A company I don't know how to, okay, it's privately traded, so I can't actually tell you how much it is, but a much smaller company of so much smaller renown can actually make the rules for you in your things. It's insane. It's almost like you get, this shit is pretty much how that makes you presto. Only lasts an hour? Butter toast, you're acting like that's like insane. This is, you could do this constantly, over and over again as a fucking like first rate wizard. This, I heard from a friend on the Adventure Pass right now, also nice and Foundry VGT. Also, yes, on Foundry, there's actual real automation, and you could actually play the fucking game like it's meant to be played, and not have to do a bunch of bullshit to play it online. There's no, why is most used r// Naruto? Oh, because I got sent dumb shit, Wilson. I clicked on a link that I shouldn't have. It's still privately, honestly. This goes to operations. I know a little bit about operating supplies, but it's whatever. It takes a standard action, constantly cast it. Yeah, you're correct, Buttertoast, as it fucking should be, because this is resourceless investment. Do you think first-rate level 1 wizards for no resources every second of the day should be able to just make free shit instantly? That is what we call a god. That is what we call a god. If you can make random free shit in your hands instantly for no cost and no effort all of the time, that is godly. That is fucking godlike. At least you have to sustain this, so you can't make more than 3 fucking objects at a time as someone with no investment at all. This is literally the base level of like you are the worst possible wizard in the game. This is the worst possible. This is the lowest level of power you can have, and this is for things that you can't do as a thing. This is very fair. This is very fair in comparison to you actually have a real class balance between things that like are and let's go to is there. Okay, there's like this is like a trait, a bunch of things, but let's go to this. Level 1 sleep spell in this. Each creature becomes drowsy, possibly nodding off. Creature falls unconscious from the spell, doesn't fall prone, or at least what it's holding. The spell doesn't prevent creatures from waking up or due to a successful perception check. I'm limiting its utility in combat. Okay, already doesn't just instantly negate counters. They can at least save against it. Stake tone indicator. Is this your mentioning? Oh god. I don't understand. Economy making impractical. Create once you flood the world. No, it is incredibly practical. Buttertoast, 6 stand action constantly. It's incredibly practical as a thing. It's just you don't get to flood the world with X. The standard for a no investment, worst possible wizard affecting the world shouldn't be I can just create infinite matter. Snaked. Okay, but yeah, it's on a critical success, the creature is unaffected. So what Pathfinder 2 does is pretty cool. If you go more than 10 above the saving, you get a critical success. If you just succeed it, you get a normal success. If you go just below, you get like a normal failure. And if you go 10 below, you get a critical failure. This is an in-cap, so higher level creatures just take 1 degree of save. If a creature falls unconscious, still conscious for 1 minute, wakes up automatically. So they get to actually make a saving throw from it. It's not some weird hit dice type thing where it's absurdly like broken, but the creature could fall unconscious, and you can just put shit to sleep. It's a rage 30 feet. It's a 5-foot burst. It's pretty cool. It's very useful. You can still use it. Someone who uses 5e basically every until you sleep ain't that powerful. You're wrong, Orion. I'm sorry. You are objectively wrong unless you house ruled it. I know that you have a lot of experience in this. And so it will come off as rude and indecent as hell for me to say that, but I'm telling you, you have to fix 5e with your house rulings, just like Harry Potter. It's like Brandon Sanders. No. It's not playstyle. It's you have to house rule 5e to make casters not literal gods in it. That's game stuff. Yeah, literally, you have to hang on. Let's go to fucking. So this is a lot more of a fair thing. There being things to make saves against, etc. Let's look at rules is written. Yeah, the only house rule I have is 5e is healing potion, bonus action. You're wrong. I'm sorry. The things that you think aren't house rules in 5e are. The fact that you think Mold Earth is just an area of difficult terrain is a house ruling. Rules as written. If we're gonna apply physical reality to the spell, that is not an ongoing effect. Is a thing. You have now moved a cube of Earth over someone. If we're gonna be realistic about that, they are trapped in that fucking cube. It doesn't matter if the soil is loose or whatever. They are trapped there. Try digging through 740 fucking pounds of dirt with your bare hands. What are you? You are not able to. It doesn't even matter for you don't apply physical reality to a spell. It's a magic spell. No. Orion. Sorry. Orion. Guess what? It's not a spell. The dirt, the spell is the moving of the dirt. The dirt is not a magical effect. That's what makes this insane. This isn't sustained, this isn't anything. This is just, you just moved the dirt. This is done. This is the only change that lasts for an hour. Gotta put thumb for soil on your hands every day, baby. You could, irrelevant. You don't need to do this. This part doesn't matter. This is not a spell. Once this happens, this is done. Some cute bullshit. What? You're fucked. If this happens to you, you're fucked. It doesn't matter pretty much who you are. It could be Oh god, this just absolutely shitters people. 100 pounds of earth every second, pretty sick. Like, literally, this is the effect of moving 100 pounds of earth plus every second onto someone. How the fuck do you... This is something a level 1 caster can do indefinitely. And that is 5 feet of it. Like, the amount of force from them, the amount of everything that is insane. There is no reason to do anything other than a caster ever. Casters are literal gods in 5e. Let's go to, like, create water. 30 feet range, though. Alright, have you considered that meta magic, there's no real cost for using the certain earth these already really, so, like, these some situational usage. No. Bo, have you considered just bringing around a fucking dirt cube with you now that you have the ability to just move a shit ton of dirt constantly? Or have a fucking donkey with you? Like, that just hauls dirt for you? It's real. Yeah. Dude, what happened if every character is becomes essentially like parody? I don't know what sense Railway has Malphite. The thing is fucking fighters just like there's pretty much no reason to play marshals in 5e. What would the effect be of moving the dirt onto someone? Orion, have you had 700 pounds of dirt placed onto you? You're not moving out of that. You're not moving out of that. I'm sorry. Like if we're being realistic about this, 700 pounds of dirt on top of you, you are not getting out of. That is an absurd amount of weight. Is this pill in lava and slot and other ketchup break? No. Unless I'm really remembering shit. This is at least a spell. This one isn't that insane, unless you, like, I will say it's disgusting that people, like, there's no rules against, like fucking in an open container of, like, people will do bullshit around just, oh, a mouth is an opening commander. But yeah, it is a little insane, but ending time is over, back to work, streamer.
Blue Pouring says, ranting time is over, back to work, streamer.
Why do that when you could just do dirt? Fuck you, get dirted on. Or even, like, let's look at, like a pivotal spell for Warlocks, and I don't even think Warlocks are good in comparison to the other casters. Let's look at Eldritch Blast. 1d10 force damage. Pretty fucking solid. Let's look at, like, a fighter. Crazy, whoa. Fighting style, second wood, first level. Even argue with my litigation. Gay!
Orion Cooper says, you're fun to argue with. Much love even if you're wrong, P.
That's crazy, but TTRPG never seen one of those. No, I'm not a TTRPG VTuber. I'm just saying 5e is not a real system in comparison to like 2e, to like Pathfinder 2e. 5e just has really bad Godcaster syndrome to where playing it is just, it isn't worth it. I would rather play a simpler system like Fate. That's more story driven and less mechanics oriented, because 5e's mechanics aren't better. I feel 4e was worse. That's fine. Pathfinder 2e isn't. I promise. I played a little bit of 4e. 4e was interesting. I mean, that's pretty much what stuff like Fate does. A little Nemesis. If I choose one to remove the other, it's validated. Oh, it's a good one. Fuck, I actually don't know. I feel like I couldn't remove Sabine Hassenfielder. I can't choose to just remove a person from this earth, even if it would make, you know. Subsistence of life still Nemesis me. Yeah. But like, let's go to here. Let's with the things that they get. Martial weapon and a shield. I don't care, man. I really don't want to do the fucking math for 5e, because 5e upsets me. I'm just gonna upset. So what's their deal with the speed person? Oh, she's fucking awful. she's not awful. I mean, she kind of is. She's just a grifter. She's literally just like a grifter that's established herself as an authority in the physics place or space. Kieran is quite awesome as a rules light system. Probably my favorite one. Not ones that still my kicks or what doing. That's very fair, Bo. Cool rules low light systems are pretty cool. I hate 5e because it is an extremely rules light system that pretends as if it isn't. There's math at witchcraft whatsoever. Yeah, Sabine is deeply upsetting. Alright, you know it. Fuck Sabine, man. I hope I don't show up on her content or anything for saying this kind of thing. But like, she's just a really big grifter. I was the Garcia knows my disdain for. I think I'm the one that showed Garcia Sabine actually, which I got showed it by a friend of mine, Ruben, if I'm remembering right. Well, fuck. Oh well. I hope not. I don't think she'll ever see this, but I do third a lot of 5 cube would weigh way more than 700 pounds closer to it. Yeah. Right, it does say we got the calculation from Garcia doing loose dirt, so like we're being like generous here with the like the thing of it, just to be fair to like fit within. If I was seeing this, so funny. She's just a fucking grifter, man. Favorite systems is real strict for Naruto. Oh, it's just weird that I like it. I have to do a lot of homebrew for that. We bonded over common handshake real. Purple offer. I've seen something in the shit I've seen from hers just out of my depth somehow. Yeah, it's just she's a physicist who's been out of her field for she's been in her field still, but it makes very broad overarching statements about fields that she has much less of a part in than she thinks. So hi Clay. As fast roll D10 real. And that very specifically like just tries to act like she knows anything about social concepts really at all when she has no fucking clue what society or e-commerce or like even like tech development is like you are a physicist, Sabine, and it's very cool, and you will forever be much better than so many people at physics, but you don't know everything in so many ways. Is produced flying a camp trip in 5e, I'm pretty sure, yeah. But like you don't know so many things about all these other fields. She pretends to be an authority on everything. This is a thing that some physicists just do for whatever reason, and she does it as like a really big political grift for whatever reason. You have more in common. You may have more in common with Sabine than you think. No, Wilson, I do not. Sabine is fucking insane. Like she's actually just kind of. I'm not gonna say she's actually just kind of dumb. She's not dumb, but she drastically overstates her qualifications in fields outside of her own strictly because she has an audience to speak on things like autism. She has no fucking like literally any history in neuroscience whatsoever, at least that I can find. Why the fuck are you talking about autism, Sabine? I know that's fine as a thing, but she uses it as like part of like a weird culture war type aspect. Like Savage Worlds Lunar. I don't know what that is. I don't know, physics cryptors in your free time. That'd be pretty good. I've seen that like one video from her, the replication crisis. Yeah, and the replication crisis. Bo, she's fucking wrong about the replication crisis. The replication crisis has existed forever. It does not mean science is failing, science is dying. Whoa, mainstream academia awful, we make no progress. We have discovered a lot of shit in your fucking like domain of physics, right? We funded the shit out of it in the fucking Cold War for a lot of reasonable reasons. It's not that, academia is dying, progress is being made. Fuck you, you're just in an overdeveloped field and you're shit talking these things because you're grifting to people who want to just not listen to anything put out in science, however. But if you look at shit like catalytic cracking, anything even relative to like CRISPR, people overhype CRISPR a lot, everything, just any development happening in biology ever, neuroscience, etc., like so many different fucking things. We are vastly progressing as a species in the amount of things that we could just develop and put on paper. It is actually insane, because her little specific domain is making progress. They're putting too much time on fucking string theory or whatever the fuck she feels as a thing. She just doesn't. She has had time in the space. And so I'm not going to pretend that she knows nothing. I'm not going to pretend that she doesn't know more than me. But what I am going to say is that she pretends she knows way too fucking much on things that she has so much more limited experience in than she thinks she does. Okay, I just straight. I know nothing about this person. I feel like you're trying to say yes, person. She's told a story about why she's no longer a really active physicist. It's basically she couldn't find a job that catered to how she was living. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is for her. She just wants to be catered to. She just wants her special interests catered to, and I respect that. But also, you kind of like work on like setting that up for yourself if you want to. That's a high burden to put on someone, but like you can't expect what the society wants to be exactly in lines with your perfect vision unless you are willing to change it. Fucking boots on the ground, putting in the goddamn work to actually change things. That is how you fucking change things if you want to change things. And it's not even nonsensical that her shit is being a little fucking, because the shit that she specifically wants is kind of whatever, and this wouldn't actually do that much generally, and the funding isn't that squandered generally. Like she doesn't. Okay, I better head back to work. I had an easy stream. Thank you so much for listening. Aw, thank you, Reid. Have a good fun at work time. Work, friend. Thanks, same. I remember like the stream with the belt. Yeah, I kind of assumed all replication guys panic would just make a self-correction effect, so I never got too worried about it. It's not even like a self-correction effect. This is, the replication crisis has literally always existed. People are blowing it up now just to fuel anti-science denial type shit. She is literally just like a science denial grifter from a background in physics, which is disgusting and despicable. She wants to blame the system rather than work with it. She could have what she wanted. She put a bit of, it's literally it. Like you're spending your time being a YouTuber and shit, which like I am as well. But at least I acknowledge these are like things. At least with like bioscience, the field is like actively developing and shit. And a lot of this shit just is actually squandered and thrown away research because of just really societal norms. But it's like I don't know how to put it. It just comes off as like lazy grifting to science denial type shit with Sabine. Like if I go to fucking, maybe I shouldn't do this. Please, Sabine Hassenfielder, please don't ruin my life. You are much smarter than me in a lot of ways. I simply do not respect some of the things you do. And there should be actually, okay, this isn't okay. Okay, it's looking like it's actually been getting better lately. Never mind. Okay, but what is that? I mean, it's good to raise awareness for this kind of things, but using it makes rarely after you stop using these shows. Okay, she doesn't really have the background in this kind of things, but this is still important things to raise awareness of. Stereotypes. However, and there's a lot of stuff is interesting. Okay, maybe I've been too hateful. Maybe I've been too hateful. Maybe I've just been. I haven't checked it lately, and I keep failing. Is theory correctly predicts location of consciousness? This person, rank your slightly above in my star ranking. The person be the proposed effects and kills Dawson. Oh god. I'm not gonna hate watch. I just want to issue this process a bigger problem. Science cuts may have an unexpected benefit. Like, that's insane, but you're thinking how we do physics. Teleology. Though, let's not go to teleology. I'm not gonna make them without that, but like. Climate change could destroy capitalism. Right, that's experts warn. No, okay, this is a little silly. You really don't understand climate change if you think that we're coming pretty far on it. We've made a lot of progress. If you look at shit like catalytic cracking, well, catalytic cracking is it. We are making a lot of progress in regards to this, but it's okay. It's okay to hate on people. I'm not hating. She actually like, but like you don't really have the background for this. Which is fine, you can still raise awareness on these things, it's just like a general science person. But it like, I don't know how to put it. Seems unlikely. But like sometimes she just has like a lot of really weird, about fascism. This is no crisis. I don't know how to feel about it. Because I feel as if I was like, over-exaggerating from going upon her more recent, like, what I took down in climate science video. It's fair. Like, it's trying to make it. Let's be fair. Maybe, okay, I bet it could. Okay, this is the kind of shit I mean. Should we defund academia? Academia is communism. I understand this is clickbait, but who do you think this is gonna, like, bait into your click? To be fair, it's been 5 months. I get the grind set. I get doing the thing, but this is a very, like, dangerous audience that you're baiting for here. Josh prefer David, always gone after guys, both very well done. I'm not like a big Just for Dave video watcher, but I have seen his videos on Sabine Hasselfield, or at least a bit of it. I got distracted and kind of stopped, but assuming anime looks like she has a lot to say. Tasty, browsing the Sabine Hasselfield YouTube channel, we've had something to do bad about. Smile like, aw. Andrew. So yeah, I tell videos to figure out how to use the computer like me because I'm like, which is true. I'm sure I like your thumbnails. They're kind of okay. I guess it's not actually getting up. Well, it kind of is, but not really. Trump and Musk take on academia. Like why would you floor this like as a thing? Diversity, equity, inclusion. Like these are pretty genuinely good programs. They just literally equal out things so that they have like more good like this is just. Like this is the kind of thing where it's like, okay, like I think she stopped really because the fucking the Trump and like Elon just kind of imploded very publicly and like just kind of like lost their mind. Like I don't know how to do it. But like there is a lot of like there's a lot of good content here. Trans athlete issue. But like what the fuck is like why are we just a social issues channel now? And I understand like variety content and things, but it's weird to like it's effectively you're setting yourself up as like just a science person generally, but it's not how science works. There's so many things like that I like. I don't know how to put it. The dumb takes are in the videos. That's fair, Garcia. The Sam Gucci community shares a lot of drama. She's not less top. She's just less strict about her. That still has very bad takes. Okay, that's fair. That is fair. However, I will not be watching. Yeah, this shit is the trouble and it worries me. I call it bullshit research. Like, what the fuck is this, man? I feel like all's gonna say, I'm serious. Like, are we just... There's just a lot of, like... I don't know. Self-censorship is rising. Like, what? Why do you... Like, you have no background in this. And I'm not saying you have no background in this to say you shouldn't be able to have takes about this. I'm saying, one, I disagree with your takes. I could go through your video and pick apart why I think your takes are really wrong, and I think you have no right to have say in the field, because for some of these, I do have somewhat of a background in them. But I'm a fucking bio major. Not like the most. I'm not like a fucking like I don't have a PhD. I don't even have a fucking degree, really. I need to get my degree actually and go back to schooling. I do have somewhat of a degree. I have experience in the field. Let's check out Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's a very similar thing, but he's much less bad about it from what I understand. Like there's the infamous tweets. There isn't a DNR one. What? But like DEI, like being crossed out, like IQ, the one like IQ, like these are all like I don't know, or really because this is just what was decided. This is what we're doing. But like the crisis of physics science is failing. Like just like this. You're just appealing to like sensationalist populist rhetoric, and you're fishing for science denial audience. Same thing with this. Is real. Science is failing. Like no it isn't. Science like it's I don't know. Like I just don't think that I'm not saying inherently that you can't. Hi guy. I'm not saying inherently that you can't have takes about things that you don't have fields in. I'm not saying that having a background in science doesn't give you somewhat of a more idea, potentially. Excuse me. Take the gas Tyson day. Sorry, excuse me. Sinking somebody who says something stupid. Nah, alright, propaganda BS. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like Tyson will just say wrong things, but it's generally not propaganda. Just 11 out of 10. God damn. Alright, here, Ryan, fuck. So you talk as if your mind's about to. Is it after too much rage and tiredness? Generally not tiredness. Fucking 11 out of 10 is insane. It's great. You know. But like, and it's just, I don't know. So share some of the Mauer sentiments. Stuff like this makes me wish that, like, for lack of better words, you're more incorrect. What? Listen, you don't even know what I'm talking about, so I'm just not gonna get rage baited by you right now. I will get rage baited by you later, but not right now. It's just, it makes me want to say, like, that you shouldn't do broad issues, that you should just, people just shouldn't have it, like, people just shouldn't put themselves up as a scientist or like a physicist and then like talk about like a bunch of other things, like grift to them and everything. But which I feel like shouldn't be correct. I feel like it's wrong for people to not be able to express themselves even in things where they're less educated in. My issue with it is the presentation of her being like just as educated in these fields that she has no experience in. And a lot of the time she's just wrong on very basic facts in these fields because she doesn't have experience in them. Which is fair. I would not make a video about any of the complex subjects that she talks about in particle physics and astrophysics, anything like that, because I simply don't know. I don't know. I have no experience in the field. I really can't say what Wilson is talking about. Rand's rating for your favorite stuff. Oh, okay. Thank you. It's not real. But it's just, I don't know how to put it. And that isn't to say that she doesn't have good things in here. I'm not saying all of this is bad, and a lot of like, I don't know. And again, she is much smarter than me at a lot of this shit. Not that like smarter is like the way to put it, but like, I don't know how to put it. Like it's not that she isn't incredibly educated and unprofessional in the ways that she is. But I feel like sometimes it's overstated, and I disagree with her takes very frequently in issues that she has not too much experience in, and on like issues of basic facts that are just verifiably wrong or right. Age restrictions and bans. Oh God. Huh. I don't know how to put it. We should do something productive instead of just like yelling at some random fucking poor science lady. I paid almost topics 5 notwithstanding real, right? I feel like I do a pretty decent job. Maybe I'm coping of like saying when I'm not qualified to make a statement. Or really I just try to be as qualified as possible in things. I'm not saying that she doesn't. But what I am saying is that I feel like a lot of the things that she thinks from other things are just kind of out of date, and she's fallen into the propaganda holes of very specific information channels that will just often just lie. Like, she unironically has praised Elon Musk quite a few times when Elon Musk is just like a known prolific liar. Like, constantly. He just constantly lies. There's no reason to support that man. Like he's a fucking laughing stock, really. Like, I hate to say it, but like the man is just kind of like I shouldn't say a failure, because he's obviously absurdly wealthy. He's absurdly wealthy from generational wealth and then having handlers for his businesses. He doesn't, I don't really know how to put it. It's a whole thing. And every time he makes a statement about his achievements and things, but he also sent a car to space. Andrew, it's not that hard to send a car to space. That's not difficult to do if you have fucking billions of dollars and the ability to pay people to do shit. Do you understand? You don't have to understand anything about anything to do that when you have billions. Sorry, I'm rage baiting now. God damn it. You read for a chat. Paid engineers to do that. That's kind of the thing. We have rocket tech since the 40s. Yeah, I could make a fucking rocket. I could make a rocket. It's not that hard. Rocket science is not actually that insane. I'm not saying it'd be the greatest rocket. I would not recommend putting people in it. A lot of the things, and there's so many like chipset type things where it's like you have to like have things specifically calibrate, and there's so many different steps and everything to make sure everything is done so precisely and done so well. But just putting something up in space, if you don't care about where it is, isn't that hard. None of these tech is like there's YouTubers who do this shit regularly. Also, yeah, that gets into topics of like what's his face. She goes on her own stream. I'm not going subconsciously on my own screen. I'm trying to click on Garcia's link because I can't click it from this. He's not Lex Luthor. That's like a disservice to Lex Luthor. He's not some fucking supervillain. He's just like a man-child. That's really it. His achievements are kind of non-existent. He hasn't really done anything. The making rockets cheaper isn't even really that relevant because they keep fucking up the rockets. The rockets just eat shit constantly. And they have so much governmental funding and contracts and shit. He doesn't actually provide that much value in anything. His business ventures don't even generally. It's I don't know. If I do space data. Oh god.
Mama.
This is good.
Mama.
This is good.
Mama.
Oh, I found that. Also, what is a value rocket if it explodes mid-launch? None, Alan, and that's why hi, I think I've seen your name before, by the way. And that's kind of the thing where, that's the stuff with, SpaceX, where it's just, shit just keep, did you ever see the launch mystery? Unfortunately, I missed it, actually, it was kind of sucked. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. So yeah, your rockets are half as expensive, but they explode, fucking constantly. So is it actually less expensive? Not really. Some of the things developed are pretty cool. He's like sit there, but really stupid. He could take over the world with his money, but instead he carries around and sings and cheats his video games. Think is cute. See, the thing is, Orion, he couldn't actually. Most of Elon's net worth is not real. Elon is not that wealthy of a man. Most of it's tied up in government contracts he can't extract that much value from and are probably going to be canceled at some point, or in stock prices that you can't extract the value from really effectively. Or just a bunch of different things. His net worth is overblown to shit. He's actually not that wealthy of a person because the ways that he has value is in assets that he cannot physically, in his lifetime or the next, extract the value from. So it might as well not be real. He puffs himself up as the world's richest man, and he might have more assets than most people that aren't like fucking King Jong-un, but he does. He can't reasonably use this as a reason. I don't know how to put it. It would be the SpaceX stuff since when he talks about the physics, he tends to know a bit. Everything else he teaches seems to be shit. He doesn't even know physics very well. I shouldn't say he probably knows better than me. He doesn't know physics that well. He literally probably just gets trained by people to give talks on the things before. But there's multiple times, there's so many fucking times where he's just been wrong about shit in public. Rockets fuck up with a failure smaller than NASA rockets, the man. Look up the actual favorites of SpaceX rockets, please. I'm getting very angry, grr. No, Bo. Sorry, because they just lie. SpaceX also just lies. I'm not gonna look up the SpaceX, failure rate and everything, because what happens when SpaceX rockets fail is they're just fucking unusable. What happens when a NASA rocket gets delayed and everything? Still generally pretty usable, but it's a whole thing. Remember that Musk autonomous self-driving was supposed to be implemented in 2018? Yeah, its failure rate is similar to NASA, but I say here, unless rocket science is that hard. Do you need a very velocity pressure balance for not explode rocket? You need a rocket to follow some village. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying there isn't knowledge to it, but we could look up a man making a rocket right now and talk about the list at least. Well, I remember Speed's video, I was asked to keep this confidential, which was not that bad, I think, because she was talking about stuff taking her field. And there's something of substance to discuss. I'm not saying that all of her content is bad. It's not even say or says easier than tying out your shoes. I wouldn't say that, Nemesis, but let's look up. Fuck, maybe this will be in my YouTube history. I'll do building a rocket with 3D printed filament. I can't remember if it was Lucas Team or Intigaza. No. No, it's not this. It's not. There was very specifically. I have it saved somewhere, and it's pretty cool. You could 3D print the filament for rockets if you do very specific things in order to have like optimal, effectively like oxygen inflow. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Are you talking about like catastrophic failure for rockets? Like it's not easy to lie. Your skyscraper breaks up. Yeah, because. You're right, it's not easy to lie, but it's still just lie. It's not easy to lie and get away with it. People don't actually fucking criticize Elon. People are like, oh, the fuck it. Well, people do, but Elon fans don't really care. Like, let's look at literally every single monkey for Neuralink died. Every single one. And they say, oh, we only tested on sick monkeys. Fuck you, that's disgusting and abhorrent. You have made it impossible to differentiate between if you just fucking killed a shit ton of monkeys, or if they just died of sickness. You've made it fucking impossible to differentiate from that. You have done a disservice. This provides no useful information at all. So what effectively you've done is necessitated that you have just killed monkeys for no reason. You have just murdered animals for no reason because you have not gotten meaningful information about the ethics of the testing from it at all. Burn the atmosphere to accelerate the necessary speeds. Yeah, I'm not talking about a 3D printed rocket. I'm talking about 3D printed rocket fuel. It's for the Pretty Please video I mentioned yesterday. Huh? This could be cute. Chimpanzees literally offer themselves to be the calves of the Neuralink. Yeah. I'm not saying either, but I'm saying SpaceX right now. I simply disagree, Bo. I think the things that happened with SpaceX would have happened in NASA already because most of SpaceX's funding is... Actually, I shouldn't say most of, but a shit ton of SpaceX's funding is just governmental type shit. They're just subsidized to hell. I think NASA would have made the things themselves. Like basically, it's just... They just moved the aerospace industry... Well, really, effectively the space industry over from a governmental sector to a private sector that is still effectively a governmental sector just in the hands of a fucking dumbass as opposed to the people. There's no real reason for, they just have stolen resources. That's pretty much it. What SpaceX has done, I'm not saying they've done nothing, but they haven't really, done that insane, and they just privatized the shit out of it. So this is worse because it's not going to be shared in the public sphere of knowledge of how these things are, and it's going to be restricting access to it.
Orion Cooper says, love you, cat girl, and love the random topics of this stream, but I am apparently needed in instrumentation,
have a good one,
so I have to duck
See you
out.
Soon, friend. Have fun.
Have a fun stream.
Have a good one, Meowmer. Meow. Also, that is fair, Garcia. Hang on, let's look up the NASA fail rate. Oh, music stopped. Let's put on pink card. Looks cute. Blue star and a pink card. Let's go to your small satellite mission failure rates. Let's did all the hardest work and then got finessed by privatization. That's pretty much it. They literally just are eating shit to effectively, getting all the resources forward by fucking Elon. But it's amazing metals me had it. I don't really want to look through this in a very launch extra space. It's to Munich Cedar 1 to level security. SpaceX seems to be doing other things, but going to be different. Is it about fail rating current? Okay. Japan's lack of escape system mean was very much result in fatalities. Fuckadam is there. I think that's way far more launches, so you have to, as way more launches, you have to consider the failure rate, not total failures. Pretty much, that's what I'm thinking about. Okay, Bo, but have you considered that okay, hang on. Bo, I want you to send me where you are seeing that NASA has a higher fail rate than SpaceX. I want to see where you're comparing the data, because it would be very easy to point to, again, as Garcia brought up, all of the work that also, yeah, I got an answer here, like of all the things that NASA has ever done, and then compare and contrast that with just the stuff that SpaceX is basically stolen from. I should say stolen. It's good that like people could use government allocated things, just used effectively, not. But I do have issues with them just taking resources from NASA, though, which they do. And then compare and say, oh, NASA, when discovering a fucking space travel, even like to just begin with it, and that satellite launch to begin with it exists, like, oh, NASA has failed more. Because no shit, they had to develop the fucking technology for it. Yeah, the SpaceX is using tech pioneered by NASA already. So if you're comparing, I want to compare specifically in the modern era. Though, it would make sense even if it was remotely comparable, or even if NASA did have a higher fucking failure rate, because NASA's funding has been fucking kinda gutted or really just administered into SpaceX. I don't know if it's actually been gutted or not, but we have put so much money into SpaceX. You, the taxpayer, has put so much money into SpaceX that could have gone into NASA, for NASA to have better things, but SpaceX failure rate being pretty low. I'm assuming. Haven't looked at NASA's failure rate. Okay, so you're just assuming then, Bo. And that's fair. But you also are not accepting the earlier testing periods for them as well. And the earlier testing periods have no real right to even have like that. Like I get it. I really do. But what I'm saying is this development could have happened in a way where that would have been better for the world as a whole and more shared to everyone, as opposed to just funneled off into some fucking private billionaire's little fucking boy mouth, just for no real reason. For a space mission, also New Mexico decided to send a whale in space. What? Meow. I don't know how to put it. No, I don't plan Texas SpaceX Prime across the pond. Real brand, the Mexico. How many? So does some SpaceX and most parts of NASA? I don't know if you could do that, but it would be for the betterment of mankind if that happened, really. How many tax dollars have went to space X? Okay. So, I'm not gonna go to this fucking random ass this. This will be good. Number of awards. Total face value loan, bailout summary, state loans. Okay, for none of this. Federal loans don't get his bail assistance, not including real payments. Okay, so $106 million 4 times from this. And a much smaller amount 4 times. It doesn't want to summarize that amount. Have a see for local awards. Decent subsidies here. Womp womp. However, I don't really have an issue with the subsidies that SpaceX gets, because it does kind of make sense. It does kind of, subsidies are a good thing for developing things. This is not inordinate. However, I am disagreeing with taking funding effectively out of NASA to feed to SpaceX. Because this is the kind of thing where it makes sense to subsidize, for example, like industries and culture and things, and like forward like things that end up effectively happening, or things on the local, or like the global scale. There are advancements in technology, everything that need to be specifically shared. Like, for example, like just weird niche game studios, in the chance that they blow up and make a fucking Baldur's Gate 3, which pretty much happened. It's pretty cool, and then that just generates a shit ton of wealth for your country long term, globally, and you get effectively a larger share of the, I don't know how to put it, but like the sort of like, well, really just e-commerce, that's pretty much it, but also like effectively like social. Okay, I'm just failing at speaking. It's never fucking mind. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up. But it's not just a thing of like, oh, SpaceX is done X. SpaceX is done X because it it is effectively paid by your money to do X. I'm not saying that's inherently a bad thing, but I'm saying that money probably would have better spent going to NASA. Chair Warner said that agency is investing more than $50 billion in SpaceX for its work on numerous space back. Okay. $15 fucking billion. Yeah, I like the reduction in funding NASA was sad. I like space in general. NASA like does get no contact launches out of SpaceX very cheaply now, which is also cool. Yeah, but they probably shouldn't be fucking the government contracting an agency. You see, we've kind of gutted our own government and what we're allowed to do for our people because we've effectively given our money to billionaires by doing this and this. We've let them develop these things and have these things. So now our government has to go, please, I would like the space thingy now, and I have to fucking beg and suck on Elon to just do the things that we should have been able to do ourselves, Same thing as stripping funding from something like your health research department and dumping all money in private insurance and commercial. Yeah, pretty much. I don't really like how to simulate the reality where NASA gets all. I don't really know how to simulate all of SpaceX's funding. I mean, you can't directly, Bo. I'm not saying it would be exactly the same, but there's a good chance that would be better. I'm not saying the government health research is terrible. If SpaceX didn't get those contracts, older companies would. What's your point? No government contracts? No, Andrew, I'm saying I would like NASA to not be gutted in funding in order to provide contracts for companies that are not on shaky terms for the fucking with the federal government and don't have really weird political agendas of their own. I would like the government contracts to be done with real fucking sensible people and business practices that aren't here trying to run the fucking country. We'll also have a locked environment with biology department. Grades, physical is gotta go great. Oh god, MSS. Listen, I would really like the government to have the technology. Because right now, even if you go to Boeing and everything and whatnot, I'm not Boeing, but if you go to I understand this happens in the military sector, literally everything. We pretty much get the ability to use it on a consistent basis. Elon posting all over of the strip funding for public services, getting private companies and putting out the terrible public service reason why they should be private. That's pretty much it. I give you Elon does do weird things on his own. I haven't seen anything wrong with SpaceX outside of Starlink concerns. Andrew, it's pretty much the fact that our federal government has to go beg and suck on Elon's nuts now in order to do things that they should have been able to do without begging and sucking on Elon's nuts. That's my issue with SpaceX. I think that's the issue. And realistically, the fact that I just disagree that it would have been done worse federally. I think our federal programs they suffer from a lot of bloat, but they're generally still pretty good in comparison to some privatized programs. But our development has track hits. I don't know if contracting out shit is inherently bad. SpaceX is more efficient than NASA. But again, I don't really know. Yeah, you just don't know. That's the thing. You literally can't. No, there's no reason for them to be more efficient than NASA. Because they have to deal with regulations set by the government. It's better to have your government workload be higher. I'm not saying that. And I also have issues with military contracts being outdeveloped and has for decades. That I also don't think is the best way for that system to work. It's about 15 messages gone up to refresh. Oh god, I'm sorry, Gar. I want to suck private companies off, that's fine, but it tends to cost more and be less efficient. Not really, Andrew, it actually doesn't. That is a lie that private companies tell you in order for you to not have funded public resources. This isn't even issue. Private companies tend to be more efficient, not because of regular, but because of competition. No, they're not actually, Andrew. That is a lie sold to you by free market wannabes that want to pretend that pretty much just want the federal government gutted so they have less regulation. You're just, even on a tend basis, it's just wrong. Governmental agencies do a pretty fucking good job at what they do. They just do different things that private companies generally don't do. Private companies want there to be no public alternatives because it means everyone has to pay them out, pretty much, yeah. And here's the thing, once there isn't effectively the public opportunities, they just work towards collaborating into what is effectively a monopoly to price gouge the shit out of things, and so it becomes so much less efficient. So, gentrification in private companies, that's pretty much what happens. Military contracts are notoriously expensive. I can mostly private companies being less efficient. I just don't get the info to actually know. Yeah, because they've won. In the military contracts, they've won. The fucking Pentagon is a black box we funnel money into, and don't know where it goes. Whoa. It's just a fucking massive hive of corruption and shit. And sometimes it's done as corruption for useful purposes. It's not always the thing. Sometimes it gets like funded for effectively like school lunches for kids for really weird and inverted ways, but it's pretty cool. Government companies can do a job, but private companies cannot make a profit. A good example is postage mail. Government companies do a good job, period, pretty generally, Andrew. Things have to be run well, pretty generally. There's a lot of agencies that don't right now because they're under the bloat of systems that are meant to be destroyed and reformed in a better way, like 40 years down the line, and then just never did. So there's a lot of restructuring that should be done. I'm not saying you should destroy them, but you do need to restructure a lot of federal agencies right now. But they're still better. They're still better than the private alternatives, pretty much almost always. This 11th March, the U.S. Department of Defense fiscal year budget request was $849 billion. Most buddy given the government is really good at back to me this one for oh god. Meow. Pull public public disses usually from defaulting instead ignores the entire fucking thing. Government programs do well, but privates tend to be cheaper or faster, like FedEx versus U.S. mail. No. Not really. Not really. Like I simply disagree. Like, there's certain things that they will do better, but they're offering a specific service that you have to make compromises on, and they just will prevent access to people from specific things. It's a service, not a company. It's not there to make a profit. It's there to get your largest pockets home. Andrew Wilson, they aren't cheaper at all. Yeah, like I just can disagree. Like if you, they might be faster. And I'm not saying that there isn't value in that, but they aren't generally cheaper. They are less bang for your buck. Like the privately owned things are cheaper. Type B is pretty much always just a lie. It makes very good sense as to why it's a lie, to force privatization of things so that prices can then be jacked up. And companies will exist to not churn a profit for a while, just so that they can effectively at a later date churn a profit later. It's the same thing with kind of a fuck ton of companies. But this is make profits a public service, so yeah. Meow. Blah. Also, it decreases effectively the relative power of your nation. That's what you need more. Are there two Wilsons now? What the hell? Huh? Oh, I guess there is, yeah, because Andrew Wilson. Earning nation exclusive like a company inherently strips the entire purpose of government out. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to streamline the shit out of government things. I'm not saying that you should strive for efficiency in government. What I am saying is that the government tends to be much more efficient than other things, strictly because it has all of the collected pieces. It is a vertical, when the government does something, it can afford to do it and is as close to a vertical supply chain as possible. And vertical supply chains tend to be more efficient than the alternatives because they can work more integrated with one another to cut corners that physically can't be outside of that. And they get to deal with their own regulation and things, so it's a lot more communicable. You're dealing with an enclosed system, and an enclosed system that doesn't have to deal with effectively gauging random bullshit happening and have to pay inordinate amounts of money. People that worm their way up this chain. Like, you can just make a better system. Isn't the U.S. government? U.S. mail is one thing. It's relatively cheap and will deliver guarantee anywhere in the U.S. but tends to be slower. The U.S. government is good, but doing it so by privatization entirely power. Yeah, because privatization is a temporary fix generally to anything being streamlined or any service being streamlined, because eventually ways to squeeze as much money out of as possible will be formed, and that's not a constant thing, but it will happen, and it will be walked back on when there is pressure, effectively, either by regulation or by competition to reduce prices and things. But you will have fluctuations in services that you pretty regularly can't afford to have fluctuations in. Like, for example, I don't know, let's just say like healthcare, for example, or health insurance, or let's just say like the price of insulin. If insulin was like a government regulated type thing, insulin would be so much cheaper for everyone. Or not regulated, but providing insulin was a government service, it would be so much cheaper consistently, and you wouldn't have massive price gouging spikes that just happen sometimes, and people die during those spikes. The human resource cost for those spikes is much more than the profit that is gained from the price gouging, effectively. And just now, as of recently, many ads have been discounted. Our relatives isn't profitable. So why public services should stay with the government? Yes, because why the hell would a private company make things cheaper? Make a good thing cheap when you have good control of all the things that go into making things jam. That's pretty much it. About having US mail still is other places that are private because the private companies do them awful stuff. Vertical integration, my beloved. I love controlling my whole supply chain. Yeah, vertical integration is the way to go. That's why government services can afford to be so much more efficient than others, because they can be a monopoly that is there to serve the people as opposed to effectively shareholders. Because monopolies, once you have a vertically integrated monopoly, you just crank the shit out of the prices and you just stay winning because you've won. Oh, it's so much less than 10th its price, Gar. It's so much less than 10th its price. The $300 EpiPen type shit is insane. Let's look at the fucking, like, actual, like... We're not gonna get into this right now. This could be a cool idea for a video for me to go through on stream. Here's a fun fact about EpiPens, by the way. They only inject roughly, like, I think 30 or 15%, I can't remember how much it is, of the adrenaline actually in the thing. The vast majority of it gets wasted. It's for useful purposes. It's mostly like a shock absorber type thing, but it is done so absurdly inefficiently. It still is a pretty cool degree of it. Actually, there's a Steve Mould video on this. EpiPen. Breaking down how EpiPens
That's
work.
going to push against this surface here.
It's pretty cool. I mean, finds. Steve Mould is a good channel in general. I could probably do a price breakdown of what goes into making the actual adrenaline in the EpiPen too. Blah. Where the fuck? Where am I? Here we go. What if we looked up EpiPen prices? That could be good. I feel like we'd see a wide range. From other companies, but like let's look up like EpiPen price. This should not cost more than $30. Maybe 2 of that we could. This is insane. I can break down the cost of all of this for you if you'd like. Are you getting needle? Step receiving on the laptop then. But like your whole man up here, you're not testicular at first. I just saw that's for oh god. I could make this at home. That's not a joke. This is not insane like biosynthesis type shit. This is insane. There's off-brand type shit. It is much less, but this is a lower dose. I mean, I've ever known myself. I'm not saying I would trap it on myself, but like, it's like this is actual insanity. There's no justifiable reason for it other than they just having the ability to. Sharp depends the economy of scale makes the price very unjustifiable. Yeah, literally, if you have a vertically integrated supply chain as a company, the correct and you owned every bit of the thing, or even if you're just at the level where you're selling to consumers and the consumers need your product to live, they can't afford not to do it, you can just keep steadily increasing the price and people just kind of eat shit for it. There's no reason, like, screwed all the way down, it always has been. Versus in a governmental system, there's no reason to do that because as long as you are not being an active detriment to, like you're effectively wagering, okay, how much money does keeping these people alive gain us versus lose us? And the correct decision is we shouldn't look up insulin prices. Insulin prices are also absurdly exceptional, given, again, I could make insulin at home. I could do that. I could make insulin. It's not that hard. It is not that fucking difficult. This is not some like pinnacle of fucking like organic chemistry to create. I don't even have a fucking degree. I was in for like 3 years. I need to get back into college, but it is not that hard. Fuck, I could walk you through how to do it, and you shouldn't, because chances are you will do something about it wrong, even though you don't have background in the field. Or really, it's not chances are that you will, it's the fact that you would is high enough for it to not be worth risking it. So it's just more safe to just eat shit to the cost. But it's just not hard to make insulin, but to make that same kind, same delivery mechanism is what people pay for. No, people pay for being alive, Andrew. It's not the same kind, same delivery mechanism. So people pay for not having a fucking alternative because it's just a monopolized to shit. It's $12 in my country. That is also too expensive for it. There is good examples of this where it's regulated to shit, where like cancer treatment is actually really fairly priced. This like specific like platinum based cancer treatments is actually very like fair price for it because it's regulated to shit. Why fucking EpiPens aren't? Shrug. I don't know. Why like insulin isn't not heart rate, a lot of medical stuff is partially elastic in price. Andrew, Andrew, here's the thing. No, it isn't. Because your insurance will cover the name brand things, and it won't cover the off-brand. So unless you want to get your medication from fucking Mexico, which is the alternative, that is a pipeline that people go through because they can't afford their medication otherwise, there often isn't another option, Andrew. Believe me, you are speaking to someone with experience of the actually the opposite policy. It's going your heart with the doing a streamline. That would be difficult. That would be actually quite difficult. The generic was covered, but the name brand wasn't. Interesting. Apparently, EpiPens cost like $10 to $30 per 2-pack by manufacturer. These specific devices are ridiculously marked up. Yeah. And guess what? I could gut the shit out of the manufacturing of these. So much of this is inefficiency if you want to cut costs in this. So much. Everywhere. Also, yeah, makes sense, quantum. It is actual insanity. That's the thing, you could find places where you can get lower insulin or less safe medical treatment, but you get what you pay for at some point. Andrew, have you considered that one, people often geographically can't do that because they don't have the fucking car, or they have work to do and they can't go down to the fucking border to do it, or they just don't know how. We're gonna get low-grade insulin or less safe medical treatment. Like, yes, I'm not saying that alternatives don't exist, but I'm saying like they are so unsafe often that it is more safe to just risk, oh, I might die if I just don't have this, and just try to have it try to get your medical treatment half as often as you need to because you can't pay for it otherwise. This gets especially fucked up if you have kids that just eat shit to something and you are unprepared. Like, say you're like a single mother or something, and you just like you know, your kid has fucking diabetes or something. That's less common. But like, say your kid has some like severe allergies and things where you literally can't like there's like how fair is it for you to tell the single mother effectively to go get like less expensive, unsafe medical treatment for their kid? Cheap stuff is so much less regulated. Why do you think fentanyl is such an issue? Cheaper off-market alternatives are placed. Yeah. Tell me how much I missed. Hi, Brad. Like, oh, you missed me. So let's go. Looking. Oh, hi, Sour. It's expected. Meow. Our dogging life isn't a good idea. It's you are sacrificing safety for these things, and it is not worth it to have to sacrifice safety, because sacrificing safety at a scale is inherently sacrificing lives, and it is not economically worth it for a company to deem for even just if we're looking at the most cynical like taxpayer dollars produced type way, for us to just risk the lives of people when it doesn't cost that much money to keep them alive, and they produce far more being alive. So that's pretty much it. But that's why having these things be governmentally, at the very least, regulated but enforced. Look, I get where you're coming from. The studies have found that the free at point of service medical stuff shows price laxity increases and overusage. I did not bring up for a single time free at point of service medical stuff. I'm not saying make it free. I'm saying this is fucking criminal. I'm saying this shouldn't be the way it is. I'm saying the world would be objectively a better place if this was government owned and this shit was actually kept at a, like, literally just keeping the systems that keep it in place. The prices just matched how much it kept to make it. Seriously, guys, that's perfectly pocketly real. What if we don't like this real? I don't even say it's all bad, but there are reasons why things are the way they are too. But I'm not saying there isn't reasons for it, Andrew. But I'm saying the reason for this is greed. The reason for this is the fact that the company is not going to gain profits from these people being alive that cannot pay for their products, so they don't care. But society as a whole would, because you still get tax value out of people who aren't rolling in thousands of dollars every week. Price fixing just big companies move out of the industry. Andrew? And that is why you want the government to own it. So that they don't move out of the industry, because they are the industry. Because from a government's perspective, it is worth it to keep your people alive for cents on the fucking dollar. Because they produce more to you if they are alive. Tax me the fuck up. Oh god. That's my issue, Andrew, because if they're not sure to get profit, like that's it, then who determines the price of things? What determines the price of things is you have it set as what goes into making them. Do you understand that? Because at that point, then if people can't pay for it, it's cynical, but you have a thing of, okay, then they literally cannot effectively pay for their own existence. At like the bare minimum, we've made it as easy as possible, and that is horrifically fucked. But you've at least done everything you can from us understanding them as one person to benefit society as much as possible as a whole. What do you mean then who determines the price of things? Who determines the price of you fucking going on the public transit? The stuff to keep the services running so that people can use these public services. This the way it always is. I feel it's kind of same, but man, more sense to subsidize corn and milk decrease those. Yeah, public service don't need to be profitable directly when half and not because service produce infinitely more value elsewhere. That's pretty much it. Like, you get more profit from these things not being as profitable because you have the thing, and society is better off for it. My tax rate is already like 25%, so I'm kind of unhappy with not having government healthcare at this point. Yeah, there is one thing about government healthcare I will say, Bo, is I would be scared to death to have government-regulated healthcare right now, at all times in history, where everything is being gutted. Canada has similar issues, though it's a little overblown to effectively be scared, like fear-mongering away from government-subsidized healthcare. But like it is at this particular point of like effectively history, really, in America, I would be pretty scared to have government. Well, I say that, but I'm looking to get on Medicaid if I can. So I don't know. Lots of people sim very much by American capitalist propaganda is pretty sad. Oh, I have to miss. Showing a lawful alignment. I'm not showing the lawful alignment. This is just objectively good type things. If people can pay for their existence, if people can pay for the things that keep them alive and producing more for others and themselves, you should let them. You shouldn't make that harder. You shouldn't make that impossible. They are going to provide value to themselves and others. Having another happy, healthy, functioning citizen is good for everyone. People cannot pay for the things they want as is. It's not the things they want, Andrew. You are obfuscating the things being discussed now. We are talking about fucking insulin and EpiPens being price gouged to 30 times the price, or 10, 20 times the price. What the fuck? That's entirely unrelated. People not paying for the things they want is entirely unrelated, Andrew. That is an issue that's an entirely separate thing. But paying for the, literally just the price of actual just fucking medicine being owned by private companies and things and just jacked up the shit. Can you do a quick something about it? Yep, hi. It is unjustifiable from an economic standpoint. And that's why you have things government owned for stuff like this, so that you can keep it at the bare minimum, because it is objectively better if more people are alive. Americans still affected by the Red Scare and economist propaganda of the past, while the party in power is currently pretty much pro-Russia. That is interesting. Russia itself has not become some staggers into this. Just rolling a screen now. Or do you prefer waiting a while sometimes for care, or do you prefer having your entire savings wiped out because of an accident happened? That's a false. You don't need either of those. You don't need either of those is the thing. I would be scared of absolute total governmental control over like all of healthcare right now. But stuff like this should not happen. Is unjustifiable. Pretty much it. Like Canada, it's an insane false equivalency. It's not really, because Canada forces the issue by guiding their government because sects of it want it to become private. It's a whole thing. This is a real thing, and that's why I am a little scared of healthcare for all. But it probably would be okay. Well, maybe not, I don't know. Because people campaign on the ideas of taking away everyone's healthcare. People get upset about it. There isn't a single country that exists from national healthcare housing that doesn't suffer from wait times to some degree. Andrew, you also suffer from wait times to some degree, Andrew. And they also tend to have better healthcare. By a lot. Also, like that's like saying there isn't a single country that has food that has like subsidized food doesn't suffer from people having to buy food or like people having to transport food to them. Like, yeah, because that's a necessary part of any of these systems. My point is you could have both public healthcare and good waitlist. I'm not discussing public healthcare. Because that is a complex and novel issue, and sometimes we just got the shit out of it as companies. And that is a more novel and complex issue. It would still probably be a good thing, but I don't have the expertise, and I've not thought about this, I have thought about this a lot, but I do not have like a presentation set up or like all of the things in line to show why like effectively the benefits and pros and cons of it, and why I would think it'd be a good thing for this. But stuff like this is a lot clearer of an issue. There's no objective correct wait time. I'm clearly comparing countries' wait times. Okay, Andrew, I'd like you to compare the countries' wait times then. What were you comparing the wait times from? Where did you find them? Hang on, like let's go to like a list of countries with national healthcare. Albania, Australia, Bhutan, Algeria, Argentina, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Costa Rica. Let's go with Cuba. I really like the Cuba system of fucking healthcare. I really like Cuba. Cuba does healthcare very well. They actually decided they give a shit about the fucking health of their people. Cuba, wait time, or I don't know. Let's look up like breast cancer treatment. This is a vaccine for breast cancer in Cuba. What? But yeah, like Cuba does this very well. Okay, apparently that's too niche of a thing. Keep getting for healthcare system. Keep getting this shit out. No, Cuba actually has a really fucking good healthcare system. It is one of pretty much there's 3 competitions in healthcare in the world. There's America because we have a shit ton of money. There's China because they just fund the shit out of bioscience departments. And there's Cuba because they funded a reasonable amount and have very good systems in place for it. Actually care about the health of their people. Protagonist. They're legit safe for you. No socialist healthcare, private health if you'd have to go there. Wait a minute, cells also never think about the time you spend in America not getting care because the doctor has to deal with insurance first. That is a pretty relevant time. There is like a lot of time investment in that, but it's a whole thing. You got me. I'm only familiar with Canada and Nordic countries' wait times. That's fair. I don't know for Nordic countries. And for Canada, I know it's awful because their parties will regularly gut their system, which I am scared of, and that's why I don't know if it would be better in the US to have it or not, because Canada guts the shit out of it. And I just strictly don't know what the Nordic country wait times are, but Cuba does this shit really fucking good. Cuba, as a really poor country, is competing for basically, is like in the top 3 of best healthcare in the fucking world. And it's not absurdly funded either. Cuba just does this really well. And it's not unjustifiable because you have systems in place and you know, dismantling them and putting new systems in them and on top of them is effort and is time and lives will be lost in it. But it does still need to happen. Hi Samag, nice to meet you, friend. It's I don't know how to, I really suggest looking into Cuba's like national healthcare and how they do research and everything because it's really good. I really like it. Cuba actually contributes a lot to effectively just the collective understanding of medicine. But this thing is any specialized care tends to be a lot less expensive than USA. I usually trade off with these things. That is fair, Andrew, but I will raise you that at least I know for Canada it's because they gut their health system because they're a few of their parties, I'm not gonna name names here, want effectively a push for privatized healthcare. They're actively trying to destroy their own government. I hope we can play. I'll see you later. Bye, kidders. Bye, Starline. Meow. So I have more to do with underfunding nursing staff and other policies rather than insurance. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Genuine question. What effect do you think Luigi Mancini will have on healthcare going forward? None. Literally none, Bo. It had some slight effect in things that people were like maybe, but probably none. No real reason for it. Like it pretty much none. Already kind of had like it has a little bit of effect, but like it. That was it. They will just forget and move on. You've killed yet another cog in the machine. They don't fucking care. Hire more security. Yeah, like it's the fact that he was able to kill that guy was kind of laughable, anyways. But like this is. I don't respect people. Well, I guess I respect people like Luigi Mancini because they are willing to die for a cause, and they're willing to do whatever they think it takes. However, the bullshit like make a statement, just kill a person type shit doesn't actually do that much as compared to just effectively feeding your life to the machine in ways to effectively rearrange systems and amass personal power to have a better functioning system that is more efficient and saves more lives and does more things. There's better ways to do this than just killing a guy that we're all gonna forget about. People don't even know the name of the people he killed anymore. In a few years, we will forget who Luigi Mancini was. Simple as. Vigilante counterterrorism isn't really real in comparison to just working your way up in these systems and effectively reducing the shitification done inside it. In Russia, you have to wait for 7 months for free specialized care staff that people just prefer the private healthcare service. Yeah, I think it's a set public precedent rather than a law-based one. Yeah, but there was not really a public precedent set, rather. I love Eugenius mentioned real. Private is better as well because there are options. Oh, but yeah, pretty much if you allow the room for privatized healthcare as a thing, private doctors as a thing, the private doctors will be better because they will be allowed to receive more funding. You shouldn't want better healthcare. Yeah, not for the people generally because it doesn't. Yeah, like it's irrelevant to them because they would just have privatized healthcare anyway. So what you need to do if you are setting these things up is have everything be public. So if people want better healthcare, if anyone wants better healthcare, they have to invest in healthcare as a whole. You have the whole system bring itself up as opposed to effectively being a zero-sum game. You want it to remove the zero-sum game from the system so that people have to improve society for things to be better for them. I think the Luigi thing to do either putting the fear of God in CEOs probably not happening or becoming a figure of rally fine. Yeah, neither of that happened, Bo, so womp womp, pretty much useless. I mean, public is a notable public lack of care and empathy compared to other situations. Like, as far as figureheads, Bernie Sanders or some shit is way better rod behind Luigi just in the public of it, he's a criminal. Yeah. He's just kind of nothing now. The fear of God is very good for your society. There's pros and cons to it. I don't think it's a whole thing. God, I fucking love Cuba's healthcare. Holy shit. Please, Cuba. I actually considered moving to Cuba for research when I was younger. My life kind of imploded, so I was never able to, but I would love to live in Cuba and do research there. It's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing, actually.
Brett Richardson says,
Oh,
Edu
God.
has two moods, meower and libertarian arguer.
I'm not a libertarian. Okay. I fucking love Cuba. I'm sorry, Samag. I have no idea what that means. I do not speak. I'm not sure it's. Oh God, that love freedom. Unless you're somebody who don't use it. Oh god. It'd be cool if you were a feudalist. That's so fair. Jigsaw turd. Yeah. I think I would be considered like a classical. I'm not sure. What happened to the term like anarcho-capitalist and libertarian and even like communism is they've been like really like the definition of them has basically been destroyed systematically. But I'm not gonna get into that because I don't have the actual understanding of history to show you how and why that happened. I can tell you what it is, but also take it with a grain of salt because I can't show you how. I'm not saying like accept my word verbatim on these things, but she's coming off as pretty authoritarian, but they're not. I'm today for nothing. These are my consistent takes on things because you just have better things. I do believe there's room for like a capital society and everything. I do think that these are not contradicting things. No system exists in a vacuum. There is no like, oh, just communism, just capitalism, etc. I specifically want things that are pretty necessary for people to effectively create value for all of humanity to not be gated. And I think that the things like that, I think they should have as little gating as possible around them to where the services that provide them are able to be maintained indefinitely. And so as many people as possible can have access to these things because inherently you make money from doing that. I seen someone to come in and you were deep in philosophy and politics all the time as a mass and births and pennies. God, right? Meow. Or he'll tongue more though. Oh god. True to judge if it's libertarian. Your thoughts on. Oh god, Bo. Oh wait, okay, I see someone that I'm fairly certain is on Twitch, so I should probably open up Twitch. I need to get my chat working for both things, but how's your doing so far? Hi, Katie. How's your day going so far? Pretty good. I guess it's not too productive, but it's been going pretty well. I've had a excuse me, sorry. Fuck you. I've had a pretty good. Thoughts on anime, waifu anime figures. They confuse and scare me. I'm not gonna lie, I just don't get it, and genuinely scares me. You want things that allow people to generate value to be assisted by government. Sounds pretty vague, but the idea is nice. It's not really vague, it's literally just like shit to keep you alive. The shit that keeps you alive. Damn, listen. Waiting for 1 hour. It's literally just like shit that keeps you alive. There should be federal programs for, and there is for most of it. There's housing assistance, there's like unemployment benefits type shit for like for finding you another job. There's like job assistance type things. There's like really it's just specific areas of medicine that I think there shouldn't be that like aren't it. I guess he's been streamed. He's been streamed, Karen said. Well, that's a long time ago. Corruption habits at these departments is crazy. I mean the same thing happens in fucking like privatized shit. It's the same thing. Corruption exists in everything. But it's not vague at all. You literally can just look at most programs that exist and regulation that exist in like America, and you look at them. You have like subsidized food shit. You have subsidized. I mean, honestly, some forms of subsidized housing. Your government takes care of people, are more productive and tax from government back. Yes, that's pretty much it. It's objectively better for society, to just have a lower like. I fucking love Gmail. The standardized unsubscribe button right at the top, my beloved. That's cool. In my country, it's crazy. Oh, I'm sorry, Mitchy Cat. Yeah, it really depends. Like for example, Russia is just like a fucking like oligarchy as hell, so it just would not function in that. But if you have a government that you should have, because you should have a government that effectively is trying to get value out of its people and not out of its natural resources and keeping its people down, it will encourage your government to build their people up and to have more happy and fulfilling lives. How does going to the moon keep you alive? Andrew, going to the moon keeps you alive by having satellites that do GPS type stuff. Really, it's a fucking showcase of like getting things done to have satellites in the air that allow for effectively like so many different things of information and structure of information to be done happen, Andrew. Also, some pretty cool physics things. There are a lot of like research in spaces that do very real improvements on Earth, but there's actually very, very real benefits of space travel. It's getting less and less so, as time goes on generally, but like specifically putting satellites up has been one of the most monumental steps for just information processing and like really handling that humanity has ever done, in the amount of lives it has saved and time that it has saved. Collective human time is literally incalculable. GPS has logistically been a fucking actual like godsend miracle type shit. It's basically magic in comparison to everything we had before. It's pretty fucking cool. That is how it keeps you alive. The amount of dollars that have been made from these things existing alone is insane. Is it keeping your life spaceship is cool? No, it is, Bo. All of these things that wouldn't exist if it didn't. Generally, like it is. The space shit does keep you the fuck alive by effectively making money. And lives are just money spent. That's pretty much it. GPS.com, etc. So the government should just do everything because who knows what we'll discover? No, Andrew. I don't think the government should do everything. I think the government should do its best to keep people alive. And forward very specific things that have promise in them. And we should subsidize like things that have promise in them, and should do research in things that generally pretty much every monumental like leap in humanity has been government done. Pretty much every single time. It's like certain definition to me. I'll just defend the idea of that's not like no, it's shipping it. It's not shifting the definition at all. What the fuck? What do you think keeps people alive, Bo? It's money. It's expenditure. It's the funding that gets them through school. It's the funding that gets through like roads, everything. Keep me alive was going to moon. You know why we went to the moon? As part of a space race. Andrew, what I'm saying is you would not be alive without the space race, Andrew. Because the real point of the space race was telecoms. The real point of the space race was GPS. If you ignore all of the technological advancement that has ever come of NASA, yeah, whoa, we did nothing with NASA. Wow, NASA is so useless. Like what the fuck are you saying? You're just pretending NASA has done no advancement in your things. How did you get to work or your friends? Like what do you think all of these advancements? I think government and cloud chasing is pretty sick. Like, I'm confused by your position. You think people in the 70s knew how impactful satellite stuff would be now? Yeah, Andrew, I do! What? That's the whole reason we did it! Yes, actually! That's the whole reason any of these things exist ever! Like, what? No shot. Andrew, alright. Read any history at all then. I'm sorry, dude. Read into why these programs existed. I promise you. The public figure type shit, it is you want to have. It's basically like a competition between countries. There is that amount of it because you want public hype to be around these things. But it is just scientific discovery that has they probably investment because it seems useful. Like it literally is. It is just like what? What? I don't know why you think they would just burn money in a pit. It is literally always for advancement. Like always. It is always, it's not, it was a dick measuring contest. You are correct, the dick measuring and that is secondary to the economic advantages of it. Like what? I'm not gonna translate every message. Your position is nonsensical, because whether or not you even genuinely believe what you're saying, which I don't think you do, it is irrelevant to the fact that every single time this happens, billions of dollars are created from this total. Literally like trillions of dollars, like an incalculable amount of human value is recursed from these investments. Like an absurd amount. Even if you want to say the motivation for it was whatever, it doesn't matter. An incalculable amount of human resources have been gained from it. Exploring is good, but to act like it was always a given or planned is crap. No, it is a given. Okay, hang on. When did you, I think you just don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a dick, but I think, it's like saying wars happen for technological advancement. No, it isn't. Mitchie, what the fuck are you, what? That's entirely, what? Okay, you are, 70s weren't that long ago, Andrew, they was certainly, what? Okay, so was 70s the specifically timed thing? I think you literally just don't know the history of space programs. I'm not saying that I do either, like the entirety of it. I'm generally sincere. Let's go to NASA's reasons for space exploration in the 70s. I'm not saying that dick measuring wasn't done. I'm saying that dick measuring to, like, effectively take the time to war. Also, yeah, the Cold War drastically fucking increased the rate of so literally our current understanding of the physical reality is based on shit we learned in the Cold War. Objectively. That's an objective statement. He's a translator, but I can't. It's difficult for me. I'm sorry, Snack. Stays in the 70s, the definitely the thought. Okay. We're not gonna look at this. Space exploration. See what I'm getting at boring. Okay, let's go to the first telescopes. Telescopes have been pretty fucking fun. First object in origin. We'll go to 1957, Sputnik, whatever. Let's go to, like, this doesn't care. First natural, I don't actually, a lot of really good researchers died in the ISS, but Space Race Article, first paragraph. I don't want to go, I'm not looking for what Wikipedia is telling me, I'm looking to get resources from Wikipedia. A functional space station inhabited since the year 2000, the other tries to fully operational. I will do that. Okay, we'll do the Space Race article. First paragraph, Space Race article. I'm not looking to just read shit off of, like, fucking Wikipedia verbatim. That's not... Let's see my own fucking typing. Here's Smithsonian. Okay, the Smithsonian is probably pretty decent. Let's go to this. To the Cold War rivals, the United States and Soviet Union achieved superior spaceflight capability or ballistic missile-based nuclear arms race between the munitions. Following World War II and the onset of Cold War, technological advantage demonstrated by spaceflight achievement was seen necessary for national security, particularly regarding economic ballistic missile satellite reconnaissance ability, but also became part of the cultural symbolism and ideology at the time. Space race brought need robotic sliders. Okay, I don't have to do the moon. Cool. Let's go to space race history. Let's go to the sources for this particular. History.com. I don't know. I guess, like Andrew, do you support, like, the Smithsonian as, like, do you have, like, do you think the Smithsonian is, like, a good enough, like, effectively, like, resource for you to, you know, accept information from, at least at face value? Maybe not in the deepest of ways, but 2, 3, 4. I really don't want to fish through these fucking, like, there's a lot of things, but well, there's a big one. I entirely forgot to bring that up even, but literally just, like, anything vaguely related to weather. And switch to TV. Like, this isn't, like, it is dick measuring, but it's dick measuring over technological advancement that has recouped literal trillions of dollars of value. Just to get my sisters right. Like, yeah, sure, the moon landing probably hasn't done trillions of dollars of value for you personally. But everything that led up to it, and the fact that, like, it had, like, if there wasn't going to be a moon landing, Space Race 1 was because Maria's Space Race, oh god. If the moon landing wasn't the goal, the technological advancements probably would have happened to a lesser degree, because everything like this is theatrics. Because the government should do anything we want it to do. We just have to be real about cost as profit. Many things that we find aren't used by the government, but if something comes back and taxes a deal. Government should do anything we want to. I kind of disagree, Andrew. Well, maybe I agree. I guess the government doing things we want it to do is potentially fine. I just think at a bare minimum, the government should be concerned with keeping its citizens alive, employed in providing value, or, like, in training to become it, and well, because it supports literally everyone when these things are met. You just have a better society from these things. And supporting, there's a lot of things that don't ever, like, for example, our government subsidizes, like, game development things, which is really fucking weird on paper. But when you think about the fact that, like, I'm pretty sure the studio that made fucking Baldur's Gate 3 received government subsidies at some point, and the amount of billions of dollars that Baldur's Gate 3 has brought in commerce to the United States of America, it makes sense. And you stay as like a cultural capstone, basically. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fucking cool, actually. And you just I hear there's good goals, but most people actually don't think I was very efficient at those, and why government contracts are good in my opinion. The government just is good at them. People really want the government to be bad at them because people really want privatized things to be owned. There's a shit ton of vested interest for the government being bad at things because it's more profitable as a private citizen if you can monetize being better than the government at X. But they're just not inefficient at it. They just aren't. They have to be efficient at it. They really just aren't. There's areas of government inefficiency, but it's generally extremely overstated in comparison to literally all alternatives. Government doing it usually means working with private industry anyways, Andrew. Yeah, then why doesn't the government just do it? Andrew, I just brought that up because there's really big private incentive for people to have holdings in these things so that they can extract profit on top of that. People that speak Krishna. It's complicated, Lost Player, because I need to wait on VR chat type things to be done, and I would have to contact Kudo. It's literally because, Andrew, it is pretty much always because, literally just there's private interest want the private sector to exist. Now, the private sector should exist for a lot of reasons. When it comes to, if a private hospital isn't as efficient as a government-owned one, why don't we just build one? Andrew, the reason why is because lobbying. Because there is private reasons for people to want to own the hospital to get money out of people because you can extract. Okay, what the fuck do you mean cap? Alright, it ain't that crazy. What the fuck are you? No, alright, Andrew, are you pretending? Are you just telling me now that lobbying doesn't exist? Are you telling me that lobbying doesn't exist? Legitimately, is that your point right now? Because if it is, I'm literally just going to stop talking. It ain't that crazy. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, this is actual trolling if you're telling me lobbying isn't real. I'm explaining this in the basis of terms. If this has actually just been an elaborate rage base, mention lobby is the only thing on the thing on the edge of policy. What? Alright, Andrew, I'm sorry. Either you are an expert level rage baiter or you fundamentally do not understand certain aspects of how the government works, but you do research for nothing. Which is, and I don't lobbying is the only thing on the edge of politics. I can show so many studies showing that is not true at all. Hang on, let's go to lobbying and chances bills are passed. Hey, he's not listening to words. It generally is something effect of this and everyone from. Let's find sure. Okay, that's cool. That's nice because it's pressure. Can you point to a policy that people want but our government isn't implementing? Are you fucking kidding? Oh my god! Oil and gas regulation. Look at literally anything related to oil and gas being regulated, and look at the fact that magically, there are so many policies. Holy fuck! What the fuck are you, dude? You're actually insane if you genuinely think that's real. Sorry, that's not fair to say. You're not insane if you think that's not real, but you have been lied to so much if you think that there's so many things that let's look at chance of a law being passed by support economically. Now, people want that. I agree we should do better, but I'm okay. Our government isn't implementing it, Andrew. Because there's lobbying against it, though people do want it. There's so many things. Americans, I don't want a fucking, actually, the Center for American Progress is decent, but I don't care. Oh my god. The fucking one beautiful bill. Oh my god. I need to find the fucking, let's go to, this is gonna be insane as a thing. Let's go to, Reddit. We're gonna code up from fucking, I hate you, Richard. Not really, but stats are beautiful. I'm not gonna find something on fucking Reddit. Communities. No! This is what I mean, statistics. What? No, statistics are beautiful. Why is that what comes up? Statistics are beautiful. What the fuck? Did this community just get to... What the fuck happened? I swear to God this exists as a thing. Let's just go to, like, r/stats. No, okay, this is not what I'm looking for. I want a good subreddit that has decent graphs for this kind of thing, so we can go through the things they find. And I'm sorry, but usually the case with people what they want. But it's usually the case with the people get what they want. No, you're wrong. Now you're fucking wrong. You are wrong, Andrew. You are so unbelievably wrong. The amount that you want legislation passed has literally no effect unless you are in a specific economic bracket on the chance that it is passed. Literally zero, Andrew. I'm not joking. There is a non-statistically relevant amount of sway that you have over your fucking, like, the popular say has over the fucking, effectively over whether a policy is passed or not. That has a chance. I guess there's a people. I mean, the people who vote. So the people, no, it's not the people who vote that matter at all. Tell people to vote, Brad. Maybe things will change. Andrew, that doesn't fucking matter. I'm considering the people who vote too. Andrew, that has literally no effect on it because we live in a democratic republic, and what happens is we elect officials, and the officials are lobbied to shit to enforce effectively what happens in the things. I'm not saying all lobbying is negative because what happens otherwise is you have people in the thing. But literally, Andrew, you are coming off as a fucking like troll right now because you genuinely don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm sorry, that's gonna come off as rude as hell, but there is a not statistically relevant effect on your personal opinions as a voter if you are not in the highest of economic brackets for whether a policy is passed or not. There's a variety. I could probably find. There's good YouTube videos on this as well. I'm gonna talk about something that's funny. Getting a person right now. Let's hear here. Hello. Yeah, you literally just do not know, like, effectively what happens because the things that you vote for, or because you're not voting for things. You generally, sometimes you do. It's a whole thing. But generally, you're voting for people. Most people vote for people, and people that are themselves have to affect. Feel free to show me some policies that contradicts the majority of constituents. We have, Andrew. You just aren't fucking listening. There are so many things. Nuclear energy. Literally most energy things in general. Anything related to oil and gas regulation. Anything related to just fucking regulation of dangerous things in general. Like, so many things that, you are just coming, okay, I feel kind of bad he got banned, but Brett's exhibits an example of judicial reforms. Look at any of this. Hang on, we'll watch a video. Your opinions on why, on laws don't matter. Still not for 30 minutes. No, Garcia, don't time him out because he's not trolling. He's not trolling. This isn't like he's not trolling. This isn't fair to him. I'm upset, but it's not him. He's not being a shitty person. He's not being a bad person. He doesn't deserve to be muted. At least I know Andrew, but this is like a opinion laws. Like it's. Hang on, I'm trying to find out. There's a specific YouTube video on this that has pretty good charts to back this up. Yeah, I think it was necessary. Please unmute. And Garcia, I would appreciate it a lot of these. It's the most advanced type of troll. Like, he just generally doesn't recognize like YouTube video showing. Oh wait, hang on. I think it's like death to lobbying or something like that, which I disagree with because the alternative is not a lot better. Death to lobbying. Fuck your fake ass watch thing. Okay, do it now, thank you. I'm not trolling, meaning could just be further. If it's not trolling, meaning could just further radicalize. This isn't even like a radicalized thing. He just doesn't understand that like lobbying is the only like metric for if a vote is passed or not. Let's go to. I cannot remember the fucking name of the video or the opinion on law versus law being passed. Oh, this is a decent video on this.
For the last few years, I've had this sense that everything I learned as a kid about how America's government works is completely wrong. but I had no idea how
I
bad
will say the takeaway from this of just a legalized lobbying is wrong, because then you just have the private sector directly owning things. Politicians just become rich people. It's not as easy as a thing of just make lobbying illegal. It's not like it's not like if you make lobbying illegal, you just have rich fucks in government who have the money to pay for themselves. There's certain things like there's specific areas, I think Washington's success do well, where they give there's like a public pool of money that's effectively allocated to just people who are looking to get elected, and then that gets spent. That's the only money that's allowed to be spent on, like things for election, everything. That there's interesting ways to do it, but
things
it's a lot of
actually were
administrative
until I
work
saw
to do
this
that.
one graph. Researchers at Princeton University looked at more than 20 years worth of data to answer a pretty simple question. Does the government represent the people? Now, this is what they found.
Let's find the fucking...
This axis here represents public support for any given idea. On the left, at 0%, are ideas that
Well,
not
we'll
a
just watch
single
the video,
American
but we'll
wants.
go to the...
On the
no,
right,
probably
at
not much, yeah.
100%,
It's
are
your
ideas
innocence
that
and
everyone
It's just a
supports.
different type of influence.
This axis represents the
government
likelihood
also
of
influences
Congress
people.
passing a law that reflects any of these ideas, from a 0 to a 100% chance.
Yeah, no, you're just generally pretty wrong if you think that the laws are passed are in correspondence to what the people want generally, and we'll show this.
On
here.
this graph,
it's not
an ideal republic would look like this. If 50% of the public supports an idea, there's a 50% chance of it becoming law. If 80% of us support something, there's an 80% chance.
More difficult
You get
when
the
it comes
idea.
to law and things, but
Now, most
the whole
Americans
thing.
would probably agree that, with a few exceptions, we should be as close to this ideal as possible. Unfortunately, the way America...
you shouldn't be, because there's it's a whole thing. You cannot immediately cave to all the this person is oversimplifying the shit out of the issue. I'm gonna ask you to not listen to potentially all the things happening in this, because this is not necessarily how you want a government to function. You do not necessarily want the whims of random things to just immediately have mass sways over effectively like what infrastructure is being built, because say I'm sure built, people think it should be done instantly, right? And it's not done instantly, and then you just have massive like landslides back of things, and you have infrastructure that was built and processes that are put in place and everything that ruin a bunch of shit. But it's a
actually works doesn't even come close.
I'm sorry.
Take an idea that nobody supports, literally nobody, and it has about a 30% chance of becoming federal law. Now,
I don't wanna
take
watch
an
the
incredibly
YouTube
popular
video on
idea.
this. I would
The
rather
most
just go to the
popular idea this
Princeton
country
thing,
has
but-
ever seen, and there's also about a 30% chance of
I
it
still want to
becoming
show
law.
that this is true. Cindy.
This
We'll go
means
to
that the number of
Princeton
American
University
voters
study.
for or against any idea has
Or stay
no
linked in.
impact on the likelihood that Congress will make it law. Put another way, and I'm just going to quote the Princeton study directly here, the preferences of the average American appear to have only a minuscule, near zero, statistically non-significant impact upon public policy. So if you've ever felt like your opinion doesn't matter and that the government doesn't really care what you think, well, you're right.
This person is also
But there's a catch.
overstating the issue a little
This
bit.
flat
but
line only accounts for the bottom 90% of income earners in America. Economic elites, business interests, people who can afford lobbyists, they get their own line. Look at how much closer their line is to the ideal. When they want something, the government is much more likely to do it. And when they don't, they have the power to completely block it from happening, no matter how much the rest of the country supports it. They
Yeah.
get what they want, and guess who ends up paying for it? We pay for it with the most expensive healthcare in the world. We pay for it with a tax code that's a complete mess. We pay for it with internet that's slower and more expensive, with wasteful spending, a floundering education system, a catastrophic drug war, and 1 in 5 American children born into poverty. Almost every major issue we face as a nation can be traced back to this graph. How does this happen?
this is pretty well sourced.
Just
but
follow the money. Right now, it's
just want
perfectly
that.
legal to buy political influence in America.
we're gonna stop here because the rest of this is gonna be the anti-lobbying type stuff. Which, yes, if you could remove lobbying as a thing, if you could say money should have no influence on politics, That would be a good thing, but you can't. What would happen was just people who have more wealth would just become political powerhouses in and of themselves in like a Trumpian fashion. I feel like the majority of populists aren't passive aside minority who are against the law, and it's enough that they don't even have the majority. They do for passing laws or something. Kind of. Let's go to like Princeton University popularity of a law versus law being passed. Previous research. Okay, I want to look at your current project and business. Okay, data. I pull the database from the Roper Center and University of Connecticut available through an access question rectified to pose and question decks for someone there for aspect. Okay, support the sales. In this case, is the policy is coming with the current policy. Response indicating support for coded for preferable existing policy will indicate. Okay. I like my different networks and we're getting that. Next up is just the entirety of task. Oh god. So my income, education, or age level because the service we're employed. Okay. This is fair. This is pretty general things. I'm not seeing anything that I would like particularly disagree with so far. But I'm also not looking into this with the most like strictest of lens. So I encourage you to go read through this entire data particle when you have more time because I have to stop streaming in 17 minutes. So I'm kind of trying to go through. I'm not even reading any of this, which you really should. Specifically, I'm looking for the graphs and if they will source their like. I don't know how to put it. Let's go to here. If you ban it on bad after the time, it won't go away. I'm curious. I don't know actually. Next video. But yeah. Okay, we're just down the references. Fuck, they don't actually visualize it very much at all. That's unfortunate. No. Oh, no. Okay, is it just at the bottom below the references? They have the tables here. B standard. Critical questions. What the fuck? Weekly held opinions for center. Strong held opinions, less than 5%. Don't know. Policy changes approach to public preference overall at level opinionization. Intercept. Okay. All questions. Standard error. Okay. So there is. So what this is saying is that effectively the P. So the p-value for this is less than. Okay, so that is statistically significant. This is very statistically significant. So for stronger held opinions, less than 5% of the intercept does it at 2.75, like deviate. Or you know, this is the. Oh, this is kind of a high standard error for this. So we have the standard error. This is the intercept of where the chance of a law gets passed at, right? So this is negative 2.75 out of whatever, and then on the thing, and then you have. This is effectively the variable it's going to get multiplied by, if like the. I'm actually not sure because I really do need to just read the fucking whole last study, but I'm not gonna like. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little scared of just perfectly betting at you, but sport versus list sport corresponding to each volume. 10%. So if we go to the income percentiles, this is. I mean, yeah. Reasonably, you would want kind of like this, and then you want these three to have the highest like of a thing. Potentially more so this too, but I don't know. There is some argument for having this is like these say. It just doesn't matter if they can provide more value to society. But it's a whole thing. They generally should have more of a say in things that would effectively make them to be able to produce more for money, but not have. They should have less of a say in things around, you know, the minus 10%, where it's people who are homeless or struggling, etc. Too much American. Just too serious. This is not even becoming too American. This is just like higher repercussions. Income percentiles. That is an insane standard deviation on that. but it is statistically relevant. Agreement questions. So at the, I think it's 454, income percentile is the 10th. So as we could see, really the thing, if we were highly agree with this, the intercept would be, this is the chance that a law turns out depending on it, and then this is like this is effectively the variable being plugged into it. Oh, the modifier on the variable that's plugged into it and corresponded to how much they actually get value out of it. Low agreement questions. Oh, okay, so the things that are low agreement, yeah, okay, so there's basically zero say in this. Pretty much. And then as you can see, it very much so is pretty much weighted to exactly your economic position. And this is true for, I don't want to say most countries, but it just is true for most countries. Likely. I'm not saying every single one, but rich more conservative, exponential tax, which they support. Inheritance tax in question. We're not going to go through this. Reasonably, I will make a video on this at some point. Hopefully, actually doing a very, very, like in-depth, just kind of a deep dive into this graph and everything it shows. Okay, we do the graphs at the bottom. Really be table 6 we care about, but percent. Well, like, yeah, this doesn't even have a logistic coefficient of 1, which is 2.36. Yep, and this is pretty much exactly as I showed. The percent preferring the policy change, you can get it up almost to a 60% if you're in the top 90%. I'm gonna have to differ with the influence of money politics if ever affects everyone. Yeah. If you want to see the data visualized. It'll be interesting to go through the stuff they end up citing, and we could even go through it ourselves on stream, depending on if it's public or not. I might have to pay money for actual access to the data, but that's pretty standard. If not, that'd be pretty cool as well. But yeah, I'm gonna call stream for today though, because I have to go in a little bit. I should also eat food and take pills because I have yet to today. But I hope you guys had a good time today. Andrew, I'm sorry I got muted. I hope everyone learned something at least a little bit today. I know I did, specifically about Sabine. I guess you could go real. Hope you guys had a great day. We'll see you guys soon. Bye, friends. If you're new here, Discord description, pretty cool. I'd recommend joining if you enjoy the stream at all and you want to see it ever again. I'll see you guys soon, friends. Bye, Reunion. Bye. 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 I eat pills, we should cast real. Bye, Reunion. Have a good one. Meow.